We are the cause of the horrible working conditions of our favorite anime and manhwa. Why? Let me explain. In order to first understand why we are the cause of these horrible work conditions, I want to break down a bit of the basic process of creating a manhwa or webcomic. While this process varies from creator to creator, the core concepts are still similar. These steps include script writing, storyboarding, sketching, inking, and coloring. Got a pedal done? Great! Now on to 29 more. The workload to be able to keep up with the standard weekly upload schedule causes strain on both the mind and body. This tight schedule often leaves little time for breaks, sleep, or even personal time, which causes burnout. This is all because you, as a reader, really wants that next chapter out on time. Let's take an example from a manhwa that I am reading. Monochrome Rumor currently updates every 10th, 20th, and 30th of each month. It used to be weekly, but swapped later to a later upload schedule. Was I upset that the comic I was enjoying reading updated less frequently? Yes, I really wanted to know what happened, and this is the exact mindset that leads to these horrible work conditions. And this is exactly what happened to the artist of the manhwa, Roxana. The story follows Roxana as she tries to survive in a family known for its cruelty and twisted morals. The only way to survive is to protect the female lead's older brother, Cassis. The series was going strong after the beginning of the second season until the indefinite hiatus. So what exactly happened? What happened was the mistreatment of the artist known as Juniljus. On Twitter, a long stream of tweets outlined her depravity while working on this series. Two of these tweets being, I spent 2 hours a night to get through season 1. And then I ended up having hearing loss and my body broke down so much. When will my grief end? Depression, headache, occupational neuralgia, dizziness, nausea, anemia, collapse, shock, sudden arrest, and scared to go out to crowded places. I lived at home. I didn't even go out to the hospital because I'm too scared. My husband always accepted my grief, and I'm sorry. Sometimes, when I lose the will to live, my husband takes care of me by struggling so hard until now. And this is all on top of the fact that she had a miscarriage, all while still having to work. So, how exactly are you, as the reader, at fault? How was it the reader's fault that the artist of Roxana only slept 2 hours to finish her work? Because there's a concept called supply and demand. The more we want or demand something, the more the content that needs to be made or supplied in order to keep up with the demand. Why else do you think the isekai genre is flooded with new series every season? In order to keep up with the rate of weekly uploads, Juniljus only slept 2 hours a day during the entirety of the first season, because if the production slowed, readers would just drop the series. With human attention spans over the past 2 decades plummeting, slow uploads or delays often will cause people to lose interest in the series or even completely forget about it. And without ample views, the company won't make any money and either shut down production or force the creators to just work harder. This is not a solution for our greed. And the manhwa industry is not the only culprit. MAPPA, the animation company we all know and love, the company that produced some of the best anime of its time. Yet, I guess we have to get our PPE equipment on because we're gonna go heading down to the mines. Welcome to MAPPA, a job not for animation, but a factory. According to a freelance animator, Mushio, who worked on Attack on Titan under MAPPA, tweeted, "What the bottom end does is not draw pictures, but only retakes, such as missing button patterns, thinning jagged patterns in 3D CG, etc. This is a factory." Meaning, instead of working on the progression of the series, some of the bottom-end animators are constantly being asked to fix drawings over and over again until they quit. And this doesn't only go for anime and manhwa. Back when the Pokemon Company released Scarlet and Violet, there was also multiple issues with the game's graphics and gameplay. We all remember Lag Lake. But in all seriousness, this waterfall here, seriously? It just looks like a simple noise texture moving along a single axis. I can literally create this in Blender in like 3 minutes. Maybe Pokemon should hire me, someone with only 4 years out of college under their belt. Yeah, I can go on forever about the textures in this game, but in all actuality, this is all due to the pressure of getting out a new game before it was even completely finished. Nintendo even had to apologize for the horrible quality of the game's release. And all of this leads back to us. As I stated before, we are the cause of these horrible conditions that these creators face. Are we forcing them to work over 40 hours a week to refix shots? No. Are we harassing them on Twitter for not uploading? I sure hope you aren't. But what we are doing still causes problems. If a series doesn't get enough views or purchases, then why does the company have any reason to keep the production going? Because in order to meet the demand of us readers or watchers, the creators must meet up with that demand. And if they don't, you, as the viewer, will move on to something else. It's just that simple. You can disagree with me on this all you want. That's fine. It's my opinion after all, but you cannot deny that the popularity increase of both the anime industry as well as the manhwa industry has nothing to do with the increased factory-like conditions. And yes, these conditions have existed even before the boom in popularity. What I'm saying is that because there is more demand, there are more studios and more creators that need to supply. This can lead to more people struggling, and that's something we should care about.